All right, I'm just going to throw the first two names out there.
Okay.
And for some, they are not going to be sexy enough. They are not going to be splashy enough. There are people that will absolutely be in the camp of you've got to go find a sitting head coach that has been to Omaha or has led teams to super regionals or whatever, whatever it may be. I'm going to give you two assistant coach names. One of them has ties to Mississippi State, Will Coggin. He was an assistant at Mississippi State. He went to played at Mississippi State, assistant at Mississippi State, left, came back, was an assistant for Nick Mingione, and most recently has been on Wes Johnson's staff at the University of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Considered to be a good offensive coach. Kind of oversaw that Georgia offense. It set all kinds of records a year ago. They had guys that could bash in that lineup. You got to have the players, but the approach was really, really good. A super aggressive approach. Another team that has been really good offensively for a bunch of years in a row now is Tennessee. I don't believe that Tony Vitello is coming, but that doesn't mean that Josh Elander might not be. He is the associate head coach and recruiting coordinator. He started out at Arkansas as a volunteer assistant and has been with Tony Vitello since he took the job at Tennessee in 2018. So 2018 through now 2025, after a year as a student assistant at TCU and then a year as a volunteer assistant at Arkansas. So his three head coach influences are Jim Schlossnagle, Dave Van Horn, and Tony Vitello. Pretty good group.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good group. So those are the two assistant names that I would throw out. There are some pretty obvious head coaching names that we're not handicapping it, just kind of compiling some names for a list.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly would not be surprised if Butch Thompson's name was on a list. On a list, I'm not saying hire him. I don't even know if he would take it.
I don't know if he'll be on the list.
Okay. Why do you say that?
I feel like he and Cohen, he wouldn't be interested. I just don't think he would come.
Okay. Would you put Nick Mingione's name on the list?
Absolutely put Nick Mingione's name on the list. 100%. Probably a guy that if you offered him the job would take it.
Yeah, so stop there for a second. What are the pros and cons of him in particular, and then the would he take it? Why wouldn't he? That kind of stuff. Like stretch that name out.
The first thing is going to be money, right? He's got a big buyout. Just signed a new deal. Good recruiter though, good recruiter, and a good portal recruiter thus far at Kentucky. Kentucky is probably after Missouri the hardest place in the conference to win baseball games at, and he took them to Omaha last year. He feels like the safest possible choice that I'm pretty sure would say yes if offered.
I'll give you a pro and a con.
Okay.
The pro, to what Haydad said, he has won at a place that is exceedingly difficult to win. John Cohen won at Kentucky. Nick Mingione has won at Kentucky. Keith Madison won a little bit, but certainly not consistently at Kentucky.
Yeah.
But Kentucky's baseball history is basically John Cohen and Nick Mingione.
And they have a nice new ballpark that nobody shows up to watch them play. I mean, there's no support there.
You want the negative. If you are a Mississippi State baseball fan, I guess winning would make it palatable. It would be impossible for me to watch that style of baseball 56 games a year, year after year after year. Now, again, if you want enough, that's fine. And maybe there are some things that Nick Mingione would do differently in Starkville than he does in Lexington because he doesn't feel like he might have to do some of the same things. But in terms of the way his team culture is built, they play really hard, they run a lot, they bunt a lot of small ball, and they kind of look like a junior high girls softball team in the dugout and sound like it.
Nobody cares if you're winning.
That's fine. That's fine. Let it slip up and not win just for a little bit and see how much people care.
Well, I mean, you see that today. So,
understand?
Yeah, that the antics in the dugout are the least of my concerns at this moment.
That's fine. I'm just Borky said pros and cons.
Oh yeah.
I started out with the pros. He wins. and has won at a place that is exceedingly difficult to win, you want the con, there it is. It is not a visually appealing style of baseball to watch on a game-in, game-out basis. Do you disagree with that? You've watched Kentucky play under Nick Mingione.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, if your team has more runs, nobody cares.
Okay.
I mean,
we'll just bookmark that and come back to it if we need to somewhere down the road.
Okay. The name that no Mississippi State real Mississippi State connections. He did get his master's degree here apparently, but the name that I like that I find interesting is Chris Pollard at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Has taken a Duke program that has had no history whatsoever and turned them into a year in year out contender. Has hosted regionals. They're a contender in a really tough baseball conference. The ACC is a great baseball conference. And he has built that program into a really, really good one. And that's a program, I mean, I cannot imagine that the NIL budget at Duke for baseball is very high. Cannot imagine the what they're getting from their athletic department is very high. So he's doing that with less. What could he do with more is a question I would not mind seeing answered.